everybody, Bob Stafford, Trainmaster Bob, and in today's episode we're just going to build a real simple loading platform. It's made from 3/16 scribed Mount Albert basswood and some balsa wood. Yeah, it's really simple, and now let's go and let's build a model. In order to build a platform, the first thing you really need to do is build yourself a jig. Now these jigs are really easy to make. Okay, it's just I just took a piece of 60,000 styrene, took my scale rule. After I cut it to size, I don't want to cut this one up. Just took my scale rule, marked off every 4 feet. Took my square, drew a line every 4 feet. Get the idea. After I had my lines in place, I got a piece of, I think this is 100 by 100 piece of styrene. Whatever piece you got works for a base. Then I used styrene strip I had. I don't even remember what size it was. And where the 4-foot marks were, I glued this up against there, and I used a square to make sure that I was getting them all in there square. So I just went all the way across every 4 feet, and I glued them all in place, let the glue dry. Then I came back, I put my 1/8 by 1/8 piece of balsa. I cut it one a bit longer than this to fit in there. Then I took another piece of the evergreen strip, pushed it up against the balsa wood there so it would be in there as a tight fit, still come out, and glued that in place and just went across. And then these, and when I got all done, I just took a Sharpie and I marked wherever each of these was, just so they were easy to spot. And this probably took me an hour to make, tops. And anyways, I'll have it to use for years to come. Every time I need to make a platform, I just bring this out and I put it to work. Next step is I use the Chop It by Northwest Short Line. This thing is great. What I found when you're doing your work though, if you put your work right up against this line here, the blade doesn't always cut through it real finely. And I found if you just put a spacer here, like here I'm using a popsicle stick, and I've got my 1/2 inch. I got this set for 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch works just about right for a boxcar door. And I just chop these up. I need 7 of them. Okay, got our 7. Real quick, easy peasy. And now we'll go to the next step, which is to put your 7 in here. Okay, and then our next step is I got the smallest thing I find in the hobby shop was 1/8, and I think it's like 3/32, something like that. Anyways, that's going to come at the top piece. We're going to cut this and we're going to glue that across the top of here. Okay, got the idea? So let's go do it. Okay, we put them all in. All I do is just take my strip wood, just lay it up against here, and I just mark. not a rivet counter. That's close enough. And again, I just take the strip wood, I'll put it in here, and I use this to make my cut. Just make sure I got my blade right down where my mark is. And there we go. And next we're just going to glue that across the top of here. The cut, I notice there's a little bit of fuzz on here. Nothing to it, just take a medium nail file. Let's just get our fuzz off. There we go. And just do it on this side to be safe. This is the factory cut side. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my Wellwood Quick and Thick and put on a piece of scrap card here. This is some card I cut up from the when I was making the template. I think it took like 4 tries to get it right, if I remember right. So anyways, just chop that up. We're just going to go put this across the top of here. I like this stuff because it dries real quick and it's thick and it doesn't run. Now, it's not impervious to water, so if you're going to soak it, it'll come on glued just like Elmer's glue. Will do. So we're going to do that. Make sure everything is pushed down tight. Okay, everything's down tight. And we're just going to glue our top piece across here. And let's... Okay, things have moved a little bit, so we just make sure everything's pushed down again. It's always a problem with things pushing and moving when you first put things in position. And we got to come over just a hair. There we go. Okay, it's all looking good. We'll let this sit for a few minutes and dry. I have my 60-degree angle here on the chopper. It's just a jig by Northwest Short Lines. Put my wood in there. Chop it. Knock out the little piece for next time. The next thing I do is I just come over here. I set this down. I measure this at the 3/4 of an inch. My razor blade, and I go back and forth with my razor blade. I don't just push down, I go sideways because that'll give you a nice clean cut. Put a little glue. One thing about this glue, it dries up pretty fast, so don't put much on your pieces here. That's the advantage of glue, because it dries fast. That's why I like it so much. It holds and dries fast. Get our piece on there. Let it dry. I'm going to come back. Dry piece with a razor blade. Got a little overlap here. Take a razor blade, and again we pull a razor blade away from us. And we got our pieces on there. Now we've trimmed our piece. Got our supports on here, both sides. Yeah, we make a second one of these and then we'll put our platform together. Next we're going to cut a 10 scale foot piece of planking to go across here. And begin to put our marker 10-foot mark here. Got a 10-foot mark here. We're going to put this into our chopper. Line it up straight and under and down. And there we go. Made myself another support post. Marked the halfway mark here, 5 foot on our end piece there in support. And we're just going to put a new leg on here. Just make 2 of these. 1 for each end. And then we'll let this dry. We'll get back to it. For gluing my frame together, just took my end pieces, took my 2 little machinist squares, put them up on end, put them together, made a nice square corner right here, and just pushed my pieces in there with glue on them and squared my corner up. That was all there was to it. Okay, we got our frame together, all glued together, squared up. Next part, thing is take my acrylic black wash here. I popped with my coffee stirrer stick. I made sure I stirred it up because with these acrylics, stuff settles down the bottom. Just anthracite black paint. I forget. I think it was Americana or Delta Green. I forget which it is. I like theirs. That's more like a old weather black color from Flocal. I got that in here. Greatly diluted with water and a drop of dishwashing detergent so it doesn't beat up. And we're just going to use this to cross here and just going to stain our wood. And then once this is stained and dried, then we're going to go put our flooring on. So as I go ahead and do this, and we'll get back to you and we'll put the flooring on. Now I've got our frame all completed over here, and got a piece of scribed wood from Mount Albert, and a piece of scrap almost the right width here. We're just going to take this and we're going to set it over here. We're going to mark it as to size. Okay, next we'll get our square out. Okay, got a square. The mark. We got our mark here. Take our single edge razor blade. We're going to cut our basswood. A number of light strokes till we get through. Okay, now we're going to cut the other side. Taking my 2 mats, put them on top of each other, get a little bit more thickness, so I can use my adjustable square here. It's the smallest adjustable square that they sell at the lumber yard, hardware store. Get my basswood up against it. I got my marks here. Okay, Went out in the layout, got my holder for the razor blade. I was using it out there. A lot easier to hold it in one of these handles. Look how quick we got through that. Actually, we're going with the grain instead of against it. There we go. Going to stain this, and we're going to put it on and complete our little platform. So we're going to use our water-based stain again. Make sure we stain both sides so that way we won't have warp. Stain one side. With this water-based stain, you got a good chance of having it warp. So by doing both, eliminates that problem, hopefully. There we go. Set it up there and we'll let her dry. Alright, put a weight on my wood here. Help prevent it from warping once it's pretty well dried up. Now we're just going to go glue this on top and we'll be done. Now you notice I didn't put any cross pieces across there. My thoughts are, once I put this in front of a loading platform door somewhere, you're never going to see underneath it. To me, I'm not building a contest model. I'm just trying to create an illusion here, and that's good enough. Our glue's dried, and let's take off our weight here. Take a look at what we've created. Just a nice simple little platform. Okay, next steps you can do is take some chalk, weather the top here, some brown and black. That's what I normally use, maybe a little gray. Same thing on the side, brown down towards the bottom, and some of green to represent mossy growth on the side of the wood. And another detail I put on mine from years of experience around these things is you need a little ladder. I normally use Central Valley's or even old freight car ladder, whatever. Just put a ladder at the end because you've got to be able to climb up on top of these things. And that concludes this. If you found this video to be useful, please remember to hit that thumbs up like button there, and to subscribe to the channel, and to share the video with your model railroad friends. So until next time, this is Bob Stafford, Trainmaster Bob, saying goodbye and happy model railroading, and let's go out and let's build something and run some trains. Bye.